Chapter 24. Unless we surrender our ego to the feet of our Sadguru, we will not succeed in our undertaking. If we become egoless, then our success is assured. By worshipping Sai Baba, we attain both the objects, worldly and spiritual, and are fixed in our true nature and get peace and happiness. Therefore, those who want to gain their welfare should respectfully hear Sai Baba's leelas or stories and meditate on them. If they do this, they will easily attain the object of their life and get bliss. Generally, all people like wit and humor, but they do not like that joke should be cut at their expense. But Baba's method was peculiar. When it was accompanied with gestures, it was very interesting and instructive, and people therefore did not mind if they were held up to the ridicule. Hemadpant gives his own instance below. In Shirdi Bazaar was held every Sunday, and people from the neighboring villages came there, erected booths and stalls on the street, and sold their wares and commodities. Every noon the masjid was crowded more or less, but on Sunday it was crowded to suffocation. On one such Sunday, Hemadpant sat in front of Baba, shampooing his legs and muttering God's name. Shama was on Baba's left, Vamarao to his right, and Shriman Bhuti and Kaka Sahib Dixit and others were also present there. Then Shama laughed and said to Anna Sahib, "See that some grains seem to have stuck to the sleeve of your coat." So saying, he touched the sleeve and found that there were some grains. Hemadpant straightened his left forearm to see what the matter was, when to the surprise of all, some grains of gram came rolling down and were picked up by the people who were sitting there. This incident furnished a subject matter for joke. Everybody present began to wonder and said something or other as to how the grains found their way into the sleeve of the coat and lodged there so long. Hemadpant also could not guess how they found an entrance and stayed there. When nobody could give any satisfactory explanation in this matter, and everybody was wondering about this mystery, Baba said, "This fellow, Anna Sahib, has got the bad habit of eating alone. Today is a bazaar day, and he was here chewing grams. I know his habit, and these grams are a proof of it. What wonder is there in this matter?" Hemadpant said to Baba, "Baba, I never know of eating things alone. Then why do you thrust this bad habit on me? I have never yet seen Shirdi Bazaar. I never went to the bazaar today. Then how could I buy grams, and how could I eat them if I had not bought them? I never eat anything unless I share it with others present near me." And Baba said, "It is true that you give to the persons present, but if none be nearby, what could you or I do? But do you remember me before eating? I am not always with you. Then do you offer me anything before you eat?" The moral: let us mark and note carefully what Baba has taught us by this incident. He has advised us that before the senses, mind, and intellect enjoy their objects, he should first be remembered. And if this be done, it is, in a way, an offering to him. The senses can never remain without their objects, But if those objects are first offered to the Guru, the attachment for them will naturally vanish. In this way, all the vrittis, all the thoughts regarding desire and anger and lust, should first be offered and directed to the Guru. And if this practice be followed, the Lord will help you in eradicating all the vrittis, all the desires, thoughts, anger, and avarice. When before enjoyment of the objects you think that Baba is close by, the question whether the object is fit to be enjoyed or not will at once arise. Then the object that is not fit to be enjoyed will be shunned, and in this way our vicious habits or vices will disappear, and our character will improve. Then love for the Guru will grow, and pure knowledge will sprout up. When this knowledge grows, the bondage of body consciousness, the idea that we are the body, will snap, and our intellect will be merged in spirit consciousness. Then we shall get bliss and contentment. There is no difference between Guru and God. He who sees any difference in them sees God nowhere. So leaving aside all differences of idea, we should regard Guru and God as one. And if we serve our Guru as stated, the Lord God will certainly be pleased and purify our minds, and He will give us self-realization. To put the matter in a nutshell, we should not enjoy any object with our senses without first remembering our Guru. When the mind is trained in this way, we will always be reminded of Baba, and our meditation on Baba will grow deeply. The Saguna form of Baba will ever be before our eyes, and then devotion and non-attachment and salvation will all be ours. When Baba's form is thus fixed before our mental vision, we forget hunger and thirst and this entire samsara of worldly suffering and bondage. The consciousness of worldly pleasures will disappear, and our mind shall attain peace and happiness. Sudama's story. When the previous story was being narrated, Hemadpant was reminded of a similar story of Sudama, which illustrates the same principle, and therefore it is given here. Sri Krishna and his elder brother Balarama were living with a co-disciple named Sudama in the ashram of their guru, Sandipani. Once Krishna and Balarama were sent to the forest for bringing fuel. Then the wife of Sandipani sent also Sudama for the same purpose, with some quantity of grams for the three. When Krishna met Sudama in the forest, he said to him, "Dada, I want water, as I am thirsty." And Sudama replied, "No water should be drunk on an empty stomach, so it is better to rest a while." He did not say that he had grams with him, and that he should take some. As Krishna was tired, he lay down for a rest on the lap of Sudama and was snoring. Seeing this, Sudama took out the grams and began to eat. Then Krishna suddenly asked him, "Dada, what are you eating? Whence is the sound?" And he replied, "What is there to eat? I am shivering with cold and my teeth are chattering. I can't even repeat distinctly the Vishnu Nama." Hearing this, the omniscient Krishna said, "I just dreamt a dream in which I saw a man eating things, and when asked about this, he said, 'What earth, what dust should he eat?' Meaning thereby that he had nothing to eat. The other man said, "Let it be so." "Dada, this is only a dream. I know that you won't eat anything without me. Under the influence of the dream, I ask you, what are you eating?" If Sudama had known a bit of the omniscient Sri Krishna and his leelas, he would not have acted as he did. Therefore, he had to suffer for what he did. Though he was a close chum of Sri Krishna, he had to pass his later life in utter poverty. But when he later offered Krishna a handful of parched rice, earned by his wife with her own labor, Krishna was pleased and gave him a golden city to enjoy. This story should be remembered by those who have the habit of eating things alone without partaking them with others. The Shruti also emphasizes this lesson and asks us to offer things first to God and then enjoy them after they are renounced by Him. And Baba also taught us the same lesson in his inimitable and humorous way. Hemadpant now describes another witty incident in which Baba played a peacemaker's part. There was one devotee by the name of Damodar Babari. He was simple, rough, and straightforward. He cared for nobody, always spoke plainly, and carried all dealings in cash. Though he looked outwardly harsh and uncompromising, he was good-natured and guileless. So Sai Baba loved him. One day, like others serving Baba in their own way, this man, at noontime, standing prone, was shampooing the left arm of Baba, which rested on the railing. On the right side, one widow named Kugalji, whom Baba called Mother, and all others Mavsibai, was serving Baba in her own way. This Mavsibai was an elderly woman of pure heart. She clasped the fingers of both her hands round the trunk of Baba and was at this time kneading Baba's abdomen. She did this so forcibly that Baba's back and abdomen became flat, and Baba moved from side to side. Anna on the other side was steady, but the other woman's face moved up and down with her strokes. Once it so happened that her face came very close to Anna's. Being of a witty disposition, she remarked, "Oh, this Anna is lewd, a bad fellow. He wants to kiss me. Even being so old with gray hair, he feels no shame in kissing me." These words enraged Anna, and he pulled up his sleeves and said, "You say that I am an old bad fellow? Am I quite a fool? It is you that have picked up a quarrel and are quarreling with me." All the persons present there were enjoying this encounter between them. Baba, who loved them both equally and wanted to pacify them, managed the affair very skillfully. Lovingly, Baba said, "Oh, Anna, why are you unnecessarily raising this hue and cry? I do not understand what harm or impropriety is there when the mother is kissed." Hearing these words of Baba, both of them were satisfied, and all the persons laughed merrily and enjoyed Baba's wit to their heart's content. Baba allowed his devotees to serve him in their own way and did not like any other persons interfering in this. To quote an instance, the same Mafsabai was on another occasion kneading Baba's abdomen. Seeing the fury and force used by her, all the other devotees felt nervous and anxious. They said, "Oh, Mother, be more considerate and moderate, otherwise you will break Baba's arteries and nerves." At this, Baba got up at once from his seat, dashed his satka on the ground, the stick. He got enraged, and his eyes became red like a live charcoal. None dared to stand before or face Baba. Then Baba took hold of one end of the stick with both hands and pressed it in the hollow of his abdomen. The other end he fixed in the post and began to press his abdomen against it. The stick, which was about 2 or 3 feet in length, seemed all to go into the abdomen, and the people feared that the abdomen would be ruptured in a short time. The post was fixed and immovable, and Baba began to get closer and closer to it and clasped the post firmly. Every moment the rupture was expected, and they were all dismayed, but did not know what to do, and stood dumb with wonder and fear. Baba suffered this ordeal for the sake of his bhakta. The other devotees wanted only to give a hint to Mahsabai to be moderate in her service and not cause any trouble or pain to Baba. This they did with good intention, but Baba did not brook even this. They were surprised to see that their well-intentioned effort had resulted in this catastrophe, and they could do nothing but wait and see. Fortunately, Baba's so-called rage soon cooled down. He left the stick and resumed his seat. From this time onward, the devotees took the lesson that they should not meddle with anybody, but allow him to serve Baba as he chooses, as Baba was capable to gauge the merits and worth of the service rendered unto him. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all.